Well, good afternoon, everybody. This is your boy Jay. We're back on a live. It's been a while. This live ain't nothing special. We're just going to get in here and chat about any and everything. I might chat about a few things I watched today on YouTube that I just thought were just insane, but we could probably get a good laugh on it or whatever. And I'm also going to give a little bit of a channel update on what's going on my channel. We got some new things that I'm working on that I'm trying to put together, to try to spice it up a little bit in the revenue. So I don't know how much spicy I can get on my channel, but we got a lot of things coming, and I want to update. And there's a lot of new things on there. I want to let everybody know. I mean, but as far as what content's being put on there, it will continue. And other than that, we'll get to that part here in a little bit. But the first thing I want to talk about, as I was watching Emma 666 live today, she covers a lot of these crazy people on the internet that just act a fool. If you're not familiar with her, go check her out. You might dig it. She covers a Pacific person, which is I think her name is Brooke or whatever. If you know who I'm talking about, you know who I'm talking about. But this woman is only thing I'm gonna say this right here before I get off out left wing somewhere. You can't go around, or you can't get on a live video. I'm talking live. People's watching you, followers is watching you. 50 followers, 100 followers, however many you got in your live. You can't get on there and be and be cammed up with your image and everything, knowing they seeing it come out your mouth, they hearing it, they seeing you live, you're right there on the spot. You can't get on there and be talking about, basically, I'm gonna put it this way: you can't get on there and terroristic threaten anybody. You ain't got to give no names. You don't even have to be specific with it. It's just how you say it. Yeah, you don't have to get on it. People take that shit serious, on social media platforms. And plus, if you're known on the internet for acting crazy and doing just outrageous, crazy shit, and attacking people and stuff like that. Well, not necessarily attacking, just doing insane shit. People don't know if you're playing or not, because your body language speaks, and they are paying attention to what you are saying. They are watching you. Maybe this woman will understand that that YouTube is not your friend on certain situations. You've got to watch what you say. You can't just go in there gung ho. I mean, yeah, I understand there's a thing called freedom of speech to an extent. Not everything is freedom of speech. Some things are classified as terroristic threatening or, and stuff like that. Yeah, but when you get in there talking about causing harm, to kids and people in general, somebody is going to take that shit serious, because they don't know if you're playing or not, and if they see that you need some fucking help, man, they're gonna get you that help, or something's got to go, because we don't know what you're capable of. All we're doing is watching the video, but your actions, is telling us that you're possibly capable. And if you're going to extents to show that you are possibly capable of doing these things, then you've got to be shut down. So unfortunately, if you've seen the video, if you haven't, um, I mean, I'm gonna slip a spoiler in for you. Uh, the woman was arrested, probably got multiple charges. But what kills me is when, what kills me about these crazies on YouTube, they got this killer man attitude when they behind the camera, and they always talking about, oh, you bunch of, I'm gonna go ahead and say it. This does have explicit language, so if you're not 18, you don't need to be watching this. This is grown up, talk. When they get on there calling people pussies and this and that, why would you even call somebody pussy that's watching you when you the biggest pussy because you on the internet? You sitting there calling people keyboard pussies where you're a camera pussy. I'm just going to put it out there like that. You quick to call everybody on YouTube, like in your chat or just, you'll single out certain ones, and be initiating fucking fights and shit like that on YouTube. Dude, nobody's going to pull up on you because they see how psychotic you are. And YouTube is worldwide. We're not about to catch a flight to come see you. We're not about to get in our car and drive 6 states over just to get out of the car and you puss out, only because you a camera pussy. You talk all that G shit and all that fucking gang, but if a motherfucker was to really get out and send you to smoke, you would choke because you ain't ready. I'm telling you. Not that I'm sitting here, throwing, trying to throw anything out there. I'm just saying. We are watching you go psycho, and be lying. And dude, this girl lies like a motherfucker. I mean, she knows what she's saying on these videos. Obviously, she does. But then want to sit there and act, but that's all the crazies, though. I can't even get in and explain it, dude. All the crazies be on there talking crazy shit. Then on the same live, or not just right after they got done saying the crazy shit, would sit there and say that they didn't say it. But when the boys of blue show up, the 5-0, the poll, oh, I didn't say that. I didn't say that. Well, I didn't see you editing any video that would make it look like you didn't say it. I mean, it's live right here. Everybody's got it. They're screen recording. There's no use in denying it. You might as well say, yeah, I said it. And go ahead and hey, Kate, what's going on? I know it's been a while. I just thought I'd get on here and shoot the shit and just do a little, just talk about a little bit. I'm talking about the what was it, Heather Brooke Clark thing that I watched earlier. I'm not gonna get into it because I let everybody know, if you want to really see it, go over to Emma's channel, man. She got all that work over there. It's great. I'm glad you stopped in. But yeah, you can't get on there and be terroristic threatening somebody because, like I said, somebody gonna be on there taking that shit serious, and they gonna get you that help you need. They about to help you out. I believe so. I believe she did get arrested. Yeah. So she's laying down for the time being. But she did let the camera know that she'll come back big, badder than ever. Don't they all say that? They always say, well, when I come back, I'm coming back stronger than ever. Yeah, right. You're gonna come back and just be ranting and raging, talking shit, 35-hour lives, 3-day lives, no sleep. I shouted, in my out if they want to go check out some of these, because she cut, like I said, she don't just cover this woman, she covers multiple, crazies, and they're man, Emma's better at running a live on the crazies than I am, so if you want to check it out, then then head on over and check that out. Yeah, she's good to watch. I like the way she conducts her lives. It's fun. It's fun sometimes. But you got all the crazies are running wild. 2025 is the year of the crazy. It's like every one of them's been in overdrive, since the beginning of. I mean, not that they haven't been. It seems like they're just worse now. They kicked it in overdrive for 2025. They've been bad, but now they're badder. The gimmicks are starting to wear off, and I don't know. I get exhausted trying to cover these crazy suckers. But if I see something, I will speak on it, a little bit. But other than that, yeah, you can't do that. It's like I was explaining. Don't be calling people keyboard pussies when you a camera pussy. Straight up. Yeah, I said it. Straight up. But oh man, it's been some wild times. I've been busy like hell. One of my brothers just got a new apartment. There was a couple weekends I had to help him, try to get settled in. Place needed just a little bit of work. The landlord let us do a little bit in there, she was nice enough to work with him, on a little bit. I know it's a landlord's job to fix up the place, but we didn't really have to do much. Basically, just from the last tenants in there, they trashed it. I don't understand people, man. Why you want to fuck something up? You don't appreciate nothing. It's like you don't want nobody else to have it, but you want, I don't know. It's been like that for years. I just don't understand people's mindset, man. They just on some bull. But we try to get him settled in, and so oh yeah, the lady is. I didn't talk to her personally. It was on speakerphone. I heard her, man. She sound pretty cool. I didn't get to meet her or nothing like that. She didn't show up, so. But I heard her on the speakerphone. She's, real nice and stuff like that. I was too busy carrying tote buckets in and other things. So yeah, we did that. Man, that was crazy. But we got the most of his stuff in there. He didn't need my help on the last of it, so which wasn't nothing for real. But all the major stuff, is taken care of. And plus, I got to see some family out of town. That's always good. And I got to get away. Touch the grass. How do they say it? Touch the grass a little while. But I have been putting content out. I just dropped a little playthrough of Walking Dead season 2. I think it's episode 3. That was last night. I still got a story I got to finish. That ain't really been on my mind here lately, but I know it's still coming. I can't tell you when, but it will happen as soon as I get motivation to write it down. I've been working on music. If you want your ears to bleed, I got you. I got you. I got you. Matter of fact, new album is on my channel right now. It's called Dark Days, Bright Nights. I try to do a little something for the spooky season, because that's my favorite time of year. Not every song on there is spooky, but I try to do a little something, try to keep things fresh. It's on there as 9 tracks. Like I said, if your ears ain't bleeding, they will be. So give that a holler. Hope everybody had a great summer, even though technically the weather is still summer-like, but it is coming to an end. What else have I got going on? Oh, yes, I have watched season 3, episode 1 of Daryl Dixon, Walking Dead spinoff. I'll talk about it here soon. I'll talk about it. I mean, to be honest with you, the first episode there's really not much to talk about for real. I watched it. There was really, but I mean, we still talk about it. Let me get a couple episodes in on it, and I'll try to review both, because I believe the next episode it's going to start getting more into it. The first one wasn't really, really nothing big. So I believe, from episode 2 and on, it's going to really start to pick up. So I'm gonna get a couple of them episodes in, and then we'll get on that. We'll review Daryl Dixon season 3. Hey, I give you plenty of time to catch up. Plenty of time. That's why I said let me get the next episode in. At least episode 1 and 2 in underneath my belt, and then we can talk about a couple episodes at once. Make it a little bit longer discussion. But it's coming. It's coming. All they're doing for real, it just like I think it's been leaked out, or it's been said, they're just leading up to that gigantic reunion that we've all, any Walking Dead fan is waiting on. They're waiting on that gigantic reunion, where everybody makes it back home. Well, Daryl and Carol at least. I don't know about Negan and Maggie. They got another season of Dead City coming. We don't know how that's going to go. There ain't no talk on it. It's still fresh. But as far as Daryl and Carol making it back home, I believe in season 4, which is supposed to be the final season, I believe they'll finally make it back, and we'll probably get a nice little reunion there. I don't know who it'll be. I know it'll more than likely be, was it LaRon and Daryl, and that'll probably definitely happen. But somebody mentioned something on YouTube. They didn't want a reunion like Rick, where they just meet up in a field somewhere. No, they wanted to see a reunion where they're actually at the gates, either the Commonwealth or the Alexandria gates. And I kind of agree with that. I would rather see them actually make it to one of them places, at the gates, either broad daylight or I prefer middle of the night. Make them, because it'd be like they'd be on point then. They'd be like, who's walking up? We can't tell. It's all dark and stuff. We don't know who it is. Yeah, and I hope. Now, this is just my speculation. This is what I want. I don't know what they're going to give us, but this is what I want. I want Rick to be the one to open the gate. That's it. That's all I want. Rick and Daryl face to face, locking in. Maybe have LaRon walking up behind Rick or whatever to see who's coming at the gate. Maybe, maybe Judith are running behind, in the distance or whatever. That's all you need right there, because that's all we're wanting. That's what any fan is wanting. They're wanting that big Rick and Daryl reunion. And I hope they give the fans what they want and do it justice. What we got here, they need to make it back and reunite. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Nope, she hasn't said a word. Carol has not told him that Rick is alive. Still hasn't told him. She's keeping that one hush, hush. Which, I don't blame her. I really don't, because I think it would be more of of him, not knowing and actually seeing firsthand when he gets there. Because if you tell him, he's gonna already, know. I say keep it under hush. Just don't say nothing. Let him find out on his own. I think it would be more I can say dramatic that way. I think it would be a lot better if he didn't know until he actually got there. Yeah, she hasn't said a word. Now he's asked. He asked about it. He has mentioned it. He said when in that one episode, I think it was this past season, he said when you said somebody had come back, who did you mean? And she didn't say nothing then. Knowing she wanted to, but she kind of played it off. I think if she told him, this is just what I think. This is just my opinion. I think if Carol told him that Rick had come back, that she's seen him walk through the gate, had, actually spoke to him or whatever. I don't think Daryl, I think Daryl would know and he would be okay with it. I don't think he'd want to go back home. I think that he would already know that, okay, Rick's alive, he's back, everything's good, whatever. I don't think he'd really want to go back. But Daryl, from what I've seen in this new season in the first episode, he's actually tired of fighting, and they've been fighting for so long, off and on with these, groups and stuff like that. He's not a young pup no more. He's getting tired, and he just wants that peace. He wants that relax. And, but it's kind of hard in this type of world when you're always going to be, in some kind of conflict with somebody sooner or later, But I could see where he would like to rest. He's done fought too much, and him having feelings with that woman, and LaRon and stuff like that. I think it really, it really got to him, and now he's just tired. He just wants to go back home. He's just ready to sit down. Take a break. True. Yeah, you might be right, Kate. Maybe Carol isn't for sure he's alive. Yeah, you could be right. Maybe it's not Rick that showed up. It could be that too. Maybe it wasn't Rick. Uh, yeah, she may have heard a voice or whatever, but who's to say it wasn't somebody else? Maybe she thought it was going to be and then got surprised. Could have been Morgan. You never know. Not anybody's really talking about Morgan for real, but we all know that Morgan was setting out to find to go look. So who's to say that Morgan didn't make it back, or maybe even what's the other one's name? Dwight. I think Dwight was wanting to go back too. No, I mean he was wanting to go back to the sanctuary. I know for sure, but I mean who really? We're not going to know until they show us, right? Yeah, it could have been Morgan. It's just purely speculation at this point. We don't know. We have not a clue. But we're eager to see it, and we can't wait to see it. But as far as the original story, I got one more part to write. Just a quick. I got to write the ending. I hope everybody, whoever's listen to it or whatever, I hope you like my creativity. I make all these stories up in my head. All these stories. I use my imagination. I was always told I had a vivid imagination. So I even use it in my music too. I mean, you can tell. So yeah, I can't let the old brain go to waste. So I'm trying to keep it fresh on the channel. If you've noticed, I've kind of steered away from the drama. Just a little bit. I might have an opinion on what a crazy does or something like that, but I haven't really been on there talking or nothing like that. Keeping it kind of drama fueled. I want to do other things, and I'm that type of person. I can't just stay on one thing. I got to be doing multiple things. But I want to kind of leave the drama to the people that can handle the drama better than I can, so that I have something to watch when I'm not doing nothing. And only the other thing I can mention is I did take a lot of time for because I did have a family member pass away while I've been doing all this, and so I've been kind of dealing with that and helping my brother. It's been wild. It's just been something new all the time. So it's like when one thing happens, another one gets put into place. I'm just running wild here. Yeah, it was an aunt. It was an aunt of mine. However you want to say it, aunt. That passed away. I got a phone call late one night, and I won't get into too much of it, but that's how it is. You've been crazy busy around there too. Oh man, it's been wild. And plus, I've tried not to be on YouTube a lot. You know, I still do my little shorts or whatever, my music shorts. You know, and my little, because I'm not out to make no money. I don't care. I'll do the AI thing. I don't care about making money, man. I'm not in it for that. I'm just in it for the creativity and to express my creative, side or nothing like that. I'm not on here to make money or get monetized or anything like that. I just want to, put out some content. You either like it or you don't. I mean, it's whatever. Maybe, go live, talk a little bit. It gives me something to do, So, I'm still doing that. And plus you get to know me a little bit better through the content, especially the music shorts. You get to know me and what type of wild music I like, and because like I said, my playlist is bipolar. 1 minute it's this, next minute it's that, in another minute it's over here. It's in all directions, all types of music. Yeah, I don't either. I'm not in it. I'm not in it for the money, or if I gain a subscriber, that's fine. I don't care about monetization. I just get on here, express, my opinion on certain things, and or get on here and, if I got some followers or some subs that like to jump in the chat or whatever, I'll connect with them. Try to keep them up to speed. I'll try to put out, a little bit of content for everybody, because not everybody likes what I do, as far as, the video games and stuff like that. I'll try to put out a little something for everybody, It's like I got people I follow and content I watch, and I'm sure there's some that check me out for a little bit, just to see what's going on. It's all right to come over and visit every now and then. I try to keep it. I try to keep it as fresh as possible. Just, it's like me. If I get something in my head and I know I can do it, if I can put it out like on YouTube or whatever, if I got the means to do it, I'll give it a shot. I try to keep things interesting. Like the type of video games I play, like the interactive, and like I've said, I try to play the ones that have a good storyline to it, something you can follow, more character driven, like you might get kind of into the characters. I try not to die a lot, as much, but there are some parts that I get to that I think I'm just going to slide through and have done before, but I end up dying a couple times, but I try not to, but sometimes it just gets kind of tough. but that, to me, that's good. That's showing you, because as I'm playing in raw form. I'm playing right there in real time. When you're watching it, that's me right there playing. So, I'm not going to be perfect. I'm going to make mistakes. So that's the rawest form that I could, show you. None of the videos are edited or anything like that. I give you the raw form of it, I give you the good, the bad, the screw ups. And I mostly put out the ones with no commentary, but I mean, I have put out gameplay videos with commentary, but with the PlayStation 5, it only lets you record up to so long. I think it's like 50, maybe 50 minutes. And sometimes if I'm doing a game that's got chapters, some of them chapters could be over an hour. Or there are some that's actually a couple hours. So I'm not going to be able to give you the full chapter, and when I play, I kind of want to give you the full chapter. I don't want to be like, oh, we'll tune in next week for the rest of chapter 2. No, I want to give you to you all in once. Oh yeah, definitely. I've got some good games on there, good storylines. I think my favorite one that I've played was the Mafia Old Country. I mean, the storyline to it was great. It was a love story pretty much. It was he ended up falling for the Don's daughter, which we all know in any kind of mafia gangster thing like that. That's something you don't do when you take that oath, and and you're a made man and put in a family. One thing you don't do. There's boundaries. There's boundaries you don't cross, and the Don's daughter is one of, unless you get the okay from the Don himself. But it you gotta obey. There's rules to this shit you gotta follow. But yeah, I mean, it was a great story. I mean, the ending, I'll be honest with you, the ending was tough. I didn't see it coming. I thought the main woman was going to make it out, but I got fooled. I got fooled real quick. They did a twist, right at the end. That's right. There's a code between them. That's right. You got there's rules, there's boundaries, there's a code. They live by a code. Also the code of silence. Was it Omerta? That's the code of silence. You don't talk about it. And they even state that in the game. Like the one character says, if you get a girlfriend or a wife or something like that, you don't speak about nothing that goes on here. You don't speak about none of us. Anything that you do, you don't speak about it at all. It's none of their business. And yeah, I mean, that storyline was great. I enjoyed it. And I've got a lot of spooky games on there, which is, still cinematic, still movie like. And it's spooky season's coming up, so there's still a lot of good content as far as gameplay coming. There's a lot of good games getting ready to come out, and I can't wait to share on my channel as soon as I can. That's right, family is off limits. You got it. That's right, family is off limits. You can have any other girl in the world. Just leave that one alone. Mm-hmm. But yeah, there's a lot coming up in the future. We still got some stuff we got to finish up, and I guess that's all I could say. Stay tuned is all I can tell you. But as far as music, new albums out right now. I was going to release it in October around my birthday, but I figured I'd just go ahead and slip it in there a little early. So, I set my own release dates. If I want to give it to you right then and there, I can. If I want to wait, I can. It is. I'm not under no contract or anything like that. I'd put it out whenever. And but other than that, I think that's really all I got to say for right now. And until something spicy happens, and I want to speak on it. But as far as I think it was Heather Brooke Clark, her goose is cooked. 3 hots in the cot. And that's where she'll be probably till after, unless she gets bonded out. She'll be there. She'll even be locked up when her upcoming court date hits. So they'll bring her over in the paddy wagon. She'll be dressed out, handcuffed, shackled, whatever they do. But I will say one thing: a town or a city, which I know this for a fact because I know I used to know somebody that the judge was so fed up with him, he kept getting arrested, and just being a menace. He finally banned him from that town or that city, wherever he was from, and he wasn't allowed to ever come back to that city or town. If he did, he got arrested on sight every time he come over the county line. If they caught him, wasn't no negotiation, nothing about it. He was done, cuffed right then and there. He didn't even have to commit a crime. When you are banned, period. That means don't ever come back. I don't know how each state works on that, but I do know someone that was banned from a town or a city here in Kentucky, and he is not allowed to ever step foot in that certain city or town. If he does, he goes to jail automatically if he's spotted or or something like that. So yeah, Brooke she is nuts, insane. And it's almost scary for me to say, even though I can't even say she's all talk for real because I've never ran up on her or whatever. There's, I guess, how can I say this? You don't know how far someone is willing to go for real. And her loving to be on the live, I guarantee she would do it to you right on the live and would film it, but then turn around and deny it. I mean, you don't know how far someone with that mental state is willing to take things, how crazy they can go. You might not think they won't, but you'd be surprised. So proceed with caution, people. Proceed with caution. And I would not put it past her, even though it doesn't seem like, she seems like she's all talk, big shit, but who really knows for real? You don't know until you actually are stuck in that situation. But that being said, proceed with caution if you run into her or are in close percentage of her, whatever. I'm going to jump off here. Everybody have a great rest of the day. Kate, thanks for stopping by. We're going to talk Walking Dead soon. And we're going to keep the ball rolling over here in the spooky sector. Have a good one. I'll catch you on the next one.